Hi everyone, today we're talking about the Netherlands and World War I. At the start of World War I in 1914, the Netherlands had a population of 6.5 million, and they were able to mobilize 200,000 troops during the war. The nation was, as it is today, a democracy and a constitutional monarchy. The Netherlands had a strict policy of neutrality at the start of the 20th century, in part believing that if they were to side with any major power, its safety could never be guaranteed, as it's strategically vulnerable, close to Great Britain, France, and Germany. Before World War I, the Netherlands also championed peace and trade. It was home to the Court of Arbitration in The Hague, a place to resolve disputes without war. But the Netherlands had a very active neutrality during World War I. It had to keep its army mobilized throughout the war, with the nation trapped between opposing powers, all wanting access to the roads and waters of the nation. The army further had to deal with refugees and guard prisoners of war who violated the nation's territory. Politically, during World War I, most Dutch citizens and political figures, including most of the royal family, favored neutrality, though the majority leaned towards favoring France or the Entente. Some characters were more open about their sides than others. The Prince Consort was German and pro-German, but also gained the nation some favor with Germany, deterring hostility. Neutrality in the Netherlands also benefited the Germans, as they could buy goods from abroad via Dutch ports, at least on the black market. The Dutch did make promises to Britain not to import goods to Germany via their ports. The Germans pressured through force the Dutch not to allow forces from Britain to land in or move through the nation, for which Britain and France did pressure the Dutch, but they did not give in. Ultimately, Germany did not want to tie up troops occupying the Netherlands. Unlike in World War II, Germany would attempt to flank the French army by invading through Belgium alone. The war hurt the average Dutch citizen. Imports were hit hard, even from Dutch colonies, affecting the cost of food. Prices skyrocketed, as much of Europe's food was feeding armies, including the Royal Netherlands Army, which drained workers from the nation's industries. Food shortages were common. Ironically, the army was used more than once to quell riots over food shortages. The war did benefit the wealthy, however. Dutch companies could do business where German ones could no longer. Companies like Philips made it big. By the end of the war, there were 3 times as many Dutch millionaires from when it started. The Netherlands declared their neutrality July 30th, 1914. That's 2 days after the Austro-Hungarian Empire declared war on the Kingdom of Serbia, July 28th, 1914. That's the start of World War I, and the nation reaffirmed neutrality frequently as alliances grew. Part of the formal declaration included an article that no foreign soldiers could enter into Dutch territory, and those that would be interned as prisoners of war. The Dutch took this seriously. When Germany invaded Belgium along the Dutch border, border guards instructed German forces to remain on Belgian sides of shared streets. Though the Dutch would not fight for their Belgian neighbors during the invasion, the Netherlands took in 1 million Belgian refugees out of a population of 6 million. The war hit the Dutch at sea more than any other place. Dutch sailors had to avoid both indiscriminate U-boats and British sea mines. 862 Dutch fishermen died during the war. Ordinary citizens also suffered the effects of the war in the air. Both lost British and German pilots accidentally dropped bombs on Dutch towns. Over 130 foreign aircraft landed or crashed in the Netherlands, and 222 crewmen were interned. Those 67 aircraft were commandeered and added to Dutch forces. Dutch neutrality and proximity to the Entente and Central Powers made it a hotbed for espionage. Dutch citizens, neutral and free to travel, were recruited as spies for all sides. Most famous was likely Mata Hari, an exotic dancer. But it was risky work. Her and many others were executed and imprisoned. Strategically, the Royal Netherlands Army was modestly equipped. It did have the defensive advantage of the Dutch waterline, a ring of rivers and low-lying areas that could be easily flooded, turning the westernmost region of the nation effectively into an island. The nation further had a number of impressive, though dated 19th century forts. Over the course of the war, the Netherlands interned 30,000 Belgian, 1,700 British, and 1,500 German soldiers. Towards the end of the war, many German deserters entered the nation out of uniform and were not interned, though some requested to go to POW camps where food was provided. POW camps relaxed as the war progressed. Families could visit or even stay in some cases, and soldiers could take trips into neighboring towns. Overall, the Netherlands was not a bad place to wait out the war. Alright, I'm Johnny. Thanks for watching this little brief on the Netherlands and World War I. If you want to support the channel, give a like, or add to the subject in the comments section, as I usually only scratch the surface on these topics. And we will see you next time.